don't know the slander, like when you got locked up and shit, you don't know the slander that I get. Cam, how the fuck you let it go this way? Y'all niggas from the same, like, what the fuck you, how to go, da-da-da. I'm like, yo, I ain't see the nigga. Yo, I ain't see this nigga be playing niggas nigga in and out of jail all the time, man. This nigga, I ain't see this shit was gonna happen. Niggas be ready to take my head off about this shit.
Because you ain't a prophet.
Yeah.
They want you to be a motherfucking prophet.
Yeah, listen, man. And I listen, I'm first tell you, I missed out and I didn't see it. You was too much of my nigga and I didn't see the vision. And sometimes what it is, not really talking about you, I'm turning up and saying this.
You still got, you know.
Oh, no, we know
you did everything. Like, look,
on the internet,
yeah, but
stuck in the computer. Show me proof. All my niggas are shooters. All my niggas from the OOTA.
You already know the vibes. We back with another one. Salute to everybody. We got Max B's interview with Camron and Mase. Talking with Flea podcast. We're going to get into this breakdown, and there's some jewels in this interview that you might want to catch. You already know Jomo. We're trying to figure out what's the connection with Jomo. We know Cam got beef with him. Max got beef with him allegedly, but Max has squashed the beef, so we are going to get into that, all right? Shout out to Max and Cam. I think that Max is off to the races. My question to everybody, is Max B as inspirational or influential as everybody's making him to be? Some people's online say, yo, Max is corny. I don't know. That's my question to y'all. Do y'all think Max is as impactful as we all making it? And if he is not as impactful, why is everybody making this big thing about him? You know what I'm saying? We watched a lot of artists come home from prison. That don't mean everybody made a big deal about them. So what's the difference between Max B? And did Max B start a lot of that singing wave, croaking on a song, you know what I'm saying, without auto-tune? Did Max B do that as well? Salute to everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to OOTA ONGO. Let's get into this video.
So we boomerang, we here now. We ain't even gonna get into it.
I'm just saying, like that's how.
Right.
Even you acknowledge, like, still, like, damn, I got Jaja, I got this nigga, I got Rel, I got, you know what I'm saying? You said, nah, boom, but not to cut you off, my bad.
Nah, you good, nigga. We talking, but I'm sitting there, like I said, we gonna boomerang back to a lot of this shit, but it's just like, when you see people, let me ask you a question, right? And we gonna go back a little further, but I wanna ask you a question. I remember you was locked up and you had to call the radio station to defuse a situation between Kanye and Wiz Khalifa, because Kanye named his album The Wave. Wiz Khalifa jumped in and said, who the fuck are you, basically, to name your album The Wave? You stealing from Max, and he locked up, Then Kanye went, French gave me permission to use The Wave, this, that, and the third.
You start hearing
Yeah. What do you take when you hear shit like that? And because you think about it, with us, even murder, we some arrogant niggas sometimes. Not even
it's
mean
Harlem.
to be. It's in the water. It's in the water. So when you hear shit like that, and you be like, damn, two of the biggest artists at this time is arguing about something that I created and I'm locked up. When you heard that, what did you feel about that?
We saw that shit on Wendy Williams one day in the day room. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Boom, they said the little name or whatever. They were talking about it the day before. I was like, oh, wow, that's. But then when they went on that daytime TV with it, that's when you knew that shit had like some traction.
Right.
And Wendy Williams had grabbed it. You know, that's home, that's sis.
Right.
She just went into a whole little like 60-second segment on promo with this shit.
Right.
So we all saw that shit where I was at. We just came out like the box or whatever. We was like in the transition phase, but it was looking up.
Right.
So that was like one of the things that happened in the process what we saw. So that shit was like, it was real hopeful that to see that people like was that involved. It let me know. I was like, damn, this shit changing. So that shit was dope.
Nah,
that shit was dope as hell, bro.
That's what it's about. So back to what I was saying, like, so a lot of people come up to me, Cam, y'all from Harlem. You know me 20 years, nigga, put me on. I'm like, I don't know you from rapping. Not talking about you, just people in general. When did you figure out that you said, I'm talented, I could do music? Because I don't just consider you a rapper. Like, you could write R&B, you could do hooks, you could rap. I consider you a artist. I don't even like to put you in a genre of just rap.
Thank you, brother.
When did you realize you had this talent? Did you always have it? Or you just said, fuck this, I'm gonna take this serious now that I see what niggas is doing?
Nah, I just ain't wanna. I knew like around 18, 19 when I first went to jail and shit. That's like right after I left for y'all and shit.
Right.
So when I used to be writing, that's like the most purest shit that will ever come to me. You know what I'm saying? Then I could start seeing the shit. I start seeing what I was writing.
Right.
So that it was like, oh, all right, you could tap into the imagination. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I guess from that point on, you know, from elementary, from being around y'all, we always check boxes on personality and character.
Right.
So it's like, all right, nigga, I don't know, I was always telling niggas what you said. You was like, yo, nigga, yo, you got that slick talk. You always talking slick. So that shit like resonated all the way. Nigga, you told me that shit, we was like 19, 18.
Right.
That shit resonated up to, you know what I'm saying? Watching y'all niggas do what y'all do. So I implemented that in there, and I just knew you know, as the more I wrote and the more I developed,
Right.
I just realized I could do other shit. I could put myself out there in a plethora of ways. You know what I'm saying? So that was just one of my outlets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was at that time it was early, but that was like the first thing I knew where I was like, this I could control this right here. This is some shit I can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to get better, and I just wanted to get better. So even y'all, I know y'all found at that point where your craft was at that.
Right.
At that
level,
peak, right?
yeah.
You was like, yo, this is really what I love to do.
Right.
So that was like that moment. So in prison at that time, that shit kept me like sane, bro.
Right.
Cause you had niggas coming in there with a little bit of shit. They couldn't figure that shit out. I done seen